Maximus Analysis here from March 4th, 2016. And we could see that, again, they continue to move up. Volume a little light, but they're hitting into this resistance area. Now, how can I say this? Being bullish is fine. Being bullish on the daily time frame is in regards to your daily, in regard to your entry, is not fine. So if you're going to be bullish, again, right after, again, I've been preaching on this as far as the pullbacks, very tidy, similar to this, and that the aggressive time frames, meaning an hourly, half an hour, 15-minute, or whatever, is a better strategy to get in stuff like this because and out because of how much it has moved, because it went to the high of 2007 point and a half and rolled. Okay, they're back under 2000, but they're against resistance. But to buy right now would mean that your stop would be below here. Using the, let's say, the SPY, you could just drop the last digit and say this is the 200 level on the SPY, and your stop is below the 192. A lot of people might not want an $8 stop, 50 delta, $4, $400 you risk per contract. You say, no, I would never do that. Well, break it down to a smaller time frame and go from here. So they did hold this 1992 level. I posted this morning that I wanted them to hold that all day, and they did. Again, it's like I said before, it's intraday long versus daily time frame longs. Okay, we're going to stay in this environment for a little bit, and due to the nature of 2015, due to the nature of 2016, it's probably the preferred method, especially if you're in chop like this, to go to an hourly or even a 2 hour if you're saying, listen, I don't have the time during the day to do that, then that's fine. But again, let's look at what we want to continue to happen. So we want to see how they're going to react with a break of basically 1985. We want to see what they're going to look like that and what this pullback is going to look like. So the pullback, we want to hold 1965, okay, because there is going to be a pullback. So we want to make sure that we're holding this 1965, especially in the 1920. And again, you might say, oh, look how far that is. Well, it was, the beginning of this week we were there. So let's not act like we're not in volatile times, and to treat these numbers accordingly and treat them with respect, because again, I have this line here in regards to our bear market official. We get below this and it tapped and it has not broken. So we want to be bullish, and we are into resistance. Now that we're at resistance, we must say, okay, if it gives 1, 2, 3 bars pull back, that's fine. We just want to hold these specific levels. So keep those levels in mind, and let's look at the excuse me, at the NQ. So NQ, we can have potentially a target of around 14,400 to the upside. Again, they had a very small indecision day today. Again, they're probably a lot more breathing room to these resistance or support levels that got broken. So if we kind of do the same type of spiel and have this like this, you can see they have a lot more room to that and the 200-day moving average above. Again, on the pullback, we want them to hold this 4230 area. We want them to hold that on the pullback that potentially could come. Now, if they break above, you just say, okay, they can head here using a smaller time frame to get in and out of the position versus the daily, because the daily you'd have to put your stop underneath here. And a lot of people don't feel comfortable with that type of risk if you feel kind of like you're chasing. So if there's still a move up, if there's still more movement to go, similar to back here, you can use a smaller time frame to get in. You can still catch this run up per se. If it continues. Again, we've had 3 very indecision days, and that's exactly what it means. Candlestick, guys, these are dojis, and what that basically means is if you break down most candlestick, people say it, but you want to know the action behind why these things are important. If we look on a 15-minute, you can see how it was up, down, for the range for the day, which is showing indecision. Okay, and that's what the daily chart is showing us right now. Moving towards the YM, excuse me, the YM, we just want them to hold this basically we want them immediately to hold the 16,600 level, 16,650 level as well. And then, they could have, we definitely want them to hold that 1660 area on the pullback. If it comes, again, we're having lighter volume, getting the clear, again, we could have the same conversation if they go up a little bit because we might see volume go up. Volume come down and volume go up a little bit. Price go up a little bit to this 200-day moving average. But we don't want to get sucked into, now we want to get long because we want to go here. Again, break it down to a smaller time frame that will give you more opportunities that I showed yesterday in the video when I showed the hourly, how much opportunity was there, even if the daily was giving you some type of choppy action, because this is choppy action. But you have a continued, again, you had a test of this previous low, but you have continuations for this pattern that could continue up. But now we're coming into overhead resistance, and we just have to understand that that's what we have going on, and them getting to the upside is more than possible, but just to be aware that this is a potential place that they could stall a little bit, and to go to a long on a daily time frame now would probably not be suggested. And again, we've been saying that. So big move up for CL. CL should have a little bit of resistance at 36.50, and again, we want to see they can get up to 39, and at 39 we want to see what happens. Again, at this a break of a previous low, we just want them to hold this 32.50. Okay, this is pretty much in this breakout portion here, and we want them to hold that if they pull back into it. Breakdown, again, we had a target of 25 and got down almost 26, so I'm not going to be a real stickler in regards to that. The low is, for this contract saying 28, but for the last contract, which was the H contract, it was basically at 26. And for you guys that are just watching, just subscribing, crude rolls over his contracts every month on the third week. So just be aware of that if you're trading crude. Now let's look at a couple names here. We have Priceline that is coming up. Real kind of just as a crappy little sideways movement, and we just want to see what happens when they break either a high or a low here. Okay, they're at some critical levels, and we just want to kind of see which side of the house. And again, holding this 1250, 1230 area is what we want to see if there is some type of pullback. And again, they could tap it and reverse back up, giving something like this type of hammer, and that's fine, but we don't want them to close below it, something like this, and continue. So we'll just look and see how that one's going to play out. Let's look at Netflix. Netflix, you have a potential of, again, the resistance would be this 204 area, and we want to see what happens excuse me, with Netflix on Monday or Tuesday if they get some type of pullback, because this volume was actually increasing, which is a good thing, but we just want to make sure we're looking at the weekly as well to say, okay, this was increasing volume, but we don't want to get back below this previous support because they're not through it yet. So they got up to it, and you can say, oh, they broke this pivot. Yeah, but they're three weeks from the low, and let's just see what happens. So and this is a lot of overhead supply going on right here. So again, we'll see. They could run it back up, but just again use a small time frame to really dig into that. But just be aware of these levels that potentially come into place. Tesla. Tesla is again up, small price movement, nice volume into these previous levels that we've talked about. Let's look at the weekly time frame, and so far so good. Again, you want to hold of this 200 level. It's kind of close, so let's say like 195 area we really want to hold, see what happens, because they could have some upside potential of potentially 206 and 208.30 if they really move back up. But they're coming into this previous resistance support that broke to resistance, and we just have to continue to watch this one and use proper risk management accordingly. Do I have anything else? I think Facebook is the last one we will look at, and Facebook was down about $1.20. This pattern is just really, again, it's higher lows. You definitely should use a small time frame or a large time frame if you're looking to get in. And a large time frame, you would have missed it. But they still are bucking up against this previous down day. So this is a small volume in regards to the weekly. So we do want to see the pullback definitely hold 100. Basically around this 102, 103.25 areas we need to see them hold when this does retrace. Because again, things don't go straight up or straight down, and we want to see that again when we were talking about the ES, and that's pretty much all I have to talk about Facebook, is we want to hold that level on the pullback, which gives them right around here. But last but not least, we're talking about the style of pullback. We're going to leverage the past to really kind of see the behavior of the future. And again, these tidy pullbacks is fine. You see the ES is really approaching a significant level. This went up to 2007 and a half. So let's really look and see what happens. Again, you don't have to chase. Because in the intraday time frame you should be able to get a pullback, and make sure that it's not screaming down, because you could get caught. Remember to kind of look at those waves, because you could get caught on the A, B, C down and then continue to upside and say. So make sure you're looking at previous support and previous highs to really leverage yourself regarding what's going to happen now, because again, we have these levels and we want them to hold. We want them to hold this 1985 level, and we definitely want the 1965 and of course the 1920 area, because below that we get right back into these highs, and we're really going to have to see some type of reversal type of bar and follow through before we would take that to the long. That would give us more of like, oh wait, heads up, let's look at that, break it down to a smaller time frame, and then kind of really go into the long if you're looking to get it. But right here, right now, daily, no, this is not the place you need to go long. Intraday, you got to use your pullback and all the other techniques you have to get a proper entry in. Okay, so have a great weekend, and let's see what happens on Monday, Tuesday. Should be some, again, the telltale sign will be how vicious or how light the pullback is. So take care. A little bit longer video, but I wanted to definitely explain with such a pretty exciting week that happened, that pretty much from Tuesday on, really wanted to do some explanation. And if you like it, please hit the like button, and talk to you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend.